when I was first born, but I'll give it a couple of years after that. 2 or 3 years old, just because my family was musical, everybody played music. It was at a time in Hawaii where it wasn't that you had to go down to Waikiki to hear Hawaiian music. You just had to practically just wake up and then people were playing music. Well, I'm primarily a singer, but I play the piano and I play the ukulele, a little bit of guitar. I'm trying to dabble in the bass. I was in a rock band and I was in the jazz combo, and I've been on the musical theater stage, played a couple of roles, and I was in opera for one season back in the East Coast, and did piano bar work even down here in Honolulu. I like so many different kinds of music. I've sung in a Native American drum band. I played for 3 years in a Javanese gamelan. Some of what I'm trying to do here is to show more the depth and breadth of Hawaiian music. It isn't just for tourists, you know. It's not all about Tiny Bubbles. Not that Tiny Bubbles isn't a wonderful piece, you know. It's just that there's so much other that doesn't get sung very much, and so I'm trying to do what I can to make sure that music gets some equal time, I guess, something like that anyway. A friend of mine who's a nurse down here, and I had no memory of it. She said, "Carl, I remember when we were in 7th grade that the music teacher was forcing us all to play ukulele. And me and Joanne Yao just couldn't do it. And you just came and you worked with us, you know, that you made it so that, you know, you can do that." And you were so supportive, and I said, and so now flash forward 50 years, and then she said that to me. I said, "What? Really?" So maybe I would have thought that it would have been later, but then when she told me that story, I thought, oh, well, maybe I was always a teacher. I went to Indiana University, and I saw the kind of commitment that it takes to be a singer who only thinks about singing day and night and thinks about their voice. And the Italian word is temperamento, which is to say you had to have a temperament, the right temperament to be able to, you know, to go for the juggler vein. And I realized that maybe I have too much aloha spirit to do that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to play music.
What's your favorite class that you teach?
The first hat that I wear of many is teaching voice. Sarah, did you know that your baby boy, you'll our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy? Most people think of music as synonymous to Bach and Beethoven and Brahms and Mozart, and I love all those guys. They wrote beautiful music, but you can't talk about Hawaiian music as if somehow it's coming up short. You know, it isn't that Western European music is the pinnacle of it all. You know, it's just that's what they do, but we do this and they do that. You know, and it's basically that's what ethnomusicology is. It allows you to appreciate a style of music or a music culture on its own terms. The context that the music springs out of is as important as the music itself. That, you know, the music came out at a certain time because things were happening. So it is the contextual part that is different from typically what people study music just as an art form. And I always use the example of Hakalana Napua, you know, that song about the overthrow of the Queen Lili'uokalani. You know, if all I taught my students was just the song because it was pretty, but not talk about what was the history that promoted that song, or that created the creation of that song, then I would be doing them and really Hawaiian music history a disservice, as opposed to, oh, let's just study it because it's pretty, which is a lot. Like I say, that's where a lot of people stop and begin and end, start and end rather, in their how they look at music. So certainly are so fortunate to have Teresa Bright. It's a good friend of mine who's got not just ka'eke, which are bamboo stomping tubes, but tuned ones. So it's like C, D, E, F, G, A, so we can play this ostinato. Boom, 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 boom. It's heaven on its only land, child that you deliver will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know? There's a word for it. It'll come to me, but it's where it requires everybody in the class to play a certain part. So in that shared kind of accompaniment, then we're creating like a wave of musical energy, and then you sing on top of it. Listen to the sweet singing. Boom, 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 boom. So that's ka'eke eke. We also play bass. Sometimes I play piano, but that piano needs some help. The one in Halea'o. Certainly guitar, ukulele, I think I said. We had somebody give us a ukeke. Ukeke is, you put this thing that's in your mouth and it's like you twang it and speak, sing. It used to be for lovers, talking to each other, because he or she would be the only one that really knew what was being said. It was kind of a secret sort of thing. And ili ili, the rocks, and puili, the split bamboo, and ipu we use, all indigenous instruments, trying to focus on, the indigeneity of the music that we're rendering. So, but predominantly voice, because it's like the hula wouldn't happen unless there was a story, and so we're focusing on the story and the singing of the story in that class. I would want to invite them to take a music class. I mean, we have some excellent ukulele, it's Ka'ala Carmack. He's a fantastic teacher. Also Sojin Kimura, fantastic teacher of the piano. There's lots of opportunities to explore music. When I think about it, it's probably now more important than ever, just because a lot of the students that come to me, at least, they come, if they went through public school here in Hawaii, they didn't get it. They didn't get music. It was always cut. But at the same time, they all have these devices, and they live and breathe on their devices. So you could possibly think that you are more connected to music than you are, because all you have to do is get the right app, and oh boy, you're cooking with gas here, whatever. So, but the truth is that you scratch the surface and you realize that a lot of people might be even just sort of posturing that they know more about music than they actually do. And it's not their fault. When you go through a school system, and, it's important that people read and write, and not saying that it's not. But, it's equally important to have the arts. It's equally important to have music to be right at the core, not just in the periphery over here. Oh, now that we've done the real stuff, let's go let our hair down and play music, and not even be serious about it. Everything that a person needs to know about life in general is in the music, if you just take the time to listen to it and look for it. So come on down, come and take a music class. I'll be waiting.